joined by Mikey Keene, host of The Team. Dude, congratulations on this. I think it's so impressive what you're doing, playing on Team 146 and hosting. What did you do today to beat Ohio State?
Knowing what it means to the alumni, knowing what it means to the fan base, and knowing what it means to my teammates, especially the seniors, they want to go 4-0.
Who would be some of your dream alumni guests to have show up on The Team?
I mean, the main people that...
Special crossover episode today here at Champ Media. Ben Lyons, host of The Lab, joined by Mikey Keene, host of The Team. Dude, congratulations on this. I think it's so impressive what you're doing, playing on Team 146 and hosting on Champ Media. So how's it going, and how did this all come together for you?
Yeah, appreciate you having me on, Ben. In all honesty, the whole reason that this thing came to be is due to the relationship that they have with Champion Circle. Obviously, it's stemming from that. And College Sports Company has done a great job with teams that they've had. I've seen a lot of clips with Adam Bredeman. He does an excellent job with his reporting and how he handles things throughout the country with college football and live updates with sports. So I think that it's super interesting what he did, but I think that it's super unique and cool that we get to, and I get to help share the stories of my teammates. That's really the main reason that we did it. And to bring more awareness to NIL funding for our program and for our guys on the team. So really just trying to give back to the guys on the team and shed light on their stories. I think that starting off with the good buddy of mine, he's probably my best friend on the team, is Marlon, being able to share his story, and maybe some people didn't know it, maybe some people did. He's been there for 4 years, but just situations like that, I think it's cool that guys are able to tell their stories and give a little bit more insight on who they are behind the helmet and behind the person that they are on the field, because we are still people, although we're on the field, and you guys see us on Saturdays on the field and things like that, but there's a lot more that goes into it. So being an outlet to help those guys kind of share their stories and let them do their thing is really what this is all about.
Mikey, I got to be honest, your show, The Team, has me very nervous because I'm like, man, this guy's in college and he's doing this. Like, he's going to take all the jobs. There's going to be no jobs left for the rest of us. Like, this media thing is not just something you're doing right now, I would imagine. It's something you want to do probably for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have it really planned out for sure, obviously. Playing as long as I can because I just my love for the game, but obviously want to stick around and be around the game for the rest of my life. But yeah, I mean, the direction that things are going in this new era of college football and even new era of sports media is kind of leaning towards the more podcast style approach. So I think it's a super cool opportunity that I can take advantage of and get some experience for myself. Obviously, you look at guys like Pat McAfee doing his thing and how successful that he has been, starting from his own show to now what he has with ESPN and College Game Day. And I love college sports and college football, so being around that for the rest of my life is what I have planned. So no, for sure. I mean, it could be a super cool opportunity, but right now it's just about sharing my teammates' stories and trying to get them to give a different insight and outlook on how they live and what they're doing in their lives and how they kind of tick. So that's really the main focus of it right now. But yeah, I mean, it's a super cool opportunity, and I'm appreciative of Champ Media for giving me the opportunity to kind of be the spokesperson, quote unquote, in that setting. But no, it's super exciting.
Man, I genuinely love watching your conversations with these guys because, like you said, you know, you have a different type of relationship. They're your teammates. These are guys you practice with, you compete with, compete against. So just the dynamic that you guys have is unique. I wonder if during the week, during practice, you see stuff happen, or you see one of your buddies that's going to be on the show, and you're like, let me put that in the back of the hard drive here so I can bring it up on the show. Like, are you collecting notes? Are you finding things to talk about while you guys are traveling and practicing and just, you know, preparing to be Michigan football players?
You know, I think that just information kind of sets into the back of my mind, regardless. But I don't really have that outlook. In all honesty, our focus during the week is really just on the game, so that's kind of how it goes. And then as Sunday comes along, I mean, I'm usually pretty tight with all the guys, so we've only done 2 interviews so far. But I mean, it's been with a tight end and a receiver, so tight with those guys, understand how they kind of work. I'm excited to get some defensive guys on the show. But no, it hasn't really been in that sort of light, but just really conversational based. And then I've been around enough players to kind of understand what guys have, but then at the same time, I get to know guys in a different light, ask them some questions beforehand. But no, it hasn't really been a collection of information. During the week, but obviously on Sundays when we get that thing recorded, just asking guys different questions, seeing what they're comfortable with, and really it's just about what they're all comfortable with, what they want to get out of this, is what I'm here for. So whatever they want to share, whatever they don't want to share, it's all good with me. So just trying to give them their spotlight for them to be able to share what they want to share.
All right, so you're new to campus. You're transferred in to the University of Michigan. When I was there, I lived in Markley. I lived on South Forest. I'd be curious what your life is like on campus, just away from all the football stuff. Are you enjoying, especially this time of year? This is a nice time to be in Ann Arbor. Are you enjoying kind of the day-to-day and life on campus, and what's that been like for you?
Day-to-day life on campus, as a graduate student, is a little bit nice. I'm all online in my classes, so that's kind of clutch. But I mean, really, this is a full-time job, guys. We're at the facility from I'm not gonna say sunrise to sunset, excuse me, but we're at the facility a good amount of our days, and then I get home later in the day. I'm there early in the morning. I'm going to my physical therapy spots and doing some extra work, getting the body right, of course. And then we're there all day with film study, and that's kind of how it's been for season. Each team has their own different schedules, so as that goes along throughout the season, I mean, you got your certain days of film study. You got base downs, third downs, red zone, all that different stuff. So it takes a good chunk of your day to be able to scout an opponent, and get your team ready, especially in the quarterback room. We all take that very seriously. So we're all working as one, trying to see how we can get an edge on the opponent. And that's really how it goes. And then obviously carry that through Friday and wherever we end up, if it's a home game or if we're traveling. We're either traveling that day or staying at the hotel, and it's kind of lock-in mode from that time on. So Sunday is a good little reset day, but at the same time, you're starting to pick up that film, that iPad, and watching some film on the next opponent. So it's a never-ending circle. I mean, it's a true grind, and I don't know if most fans understand that, but I mean, it is a full-time job for sure.
All right, so here's the difference, everyone, between being a student at the University of Michigan and being a student athlete who plays on the football team, okay? I only got inside Chop House during Parents' Weekend. Like when my parents would come visit, that's when I would get the call up to go to Chop House, right? That's your office. That's where you shoot your show. That's where you do interviews. So you clearly have the hookup at one of the nicest spots in Ann Arbor. What's it been like to go there and shoot those episodes at the Chop House?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, obviously being downtown Ann Arbor, that's a super cool area to walk around. And one day I was bored, and I used to live in downtown Ann Arbor. I now live close to Briarwood Mall, but I was just walking around and thought that Chop House was super cool. And I was asking my buddies, like, hey, like, where's a nice steakhouse and things like that when you get into town? And everyone suggested Chop House. So now being able to shoot the episodes there, I think it's pretty cool. They got a nice little cigar room down there, which I think is pretty dope. And they got a whole bunch of Michigan alumni and collectible items down there, jerseys, pictures, all this different cool stuff. So it's been a really unique opportunity, obviously having one of the best steakhouse in town host us, so very appreciative of them, and they've been doing an excellent job hosting us.
You mentioned some collectible items from Michigan alumni. I'd be curious, now that you're part of the history and the culture of the Michigan Wolverines, like, who would be some of your dream alumni guests to have show up on the team?
Yeah, I mean, the main people that obviously your mind goes to Tom Brady, and mine does. Being a quarterback, that's the greatest of all time. Uh, but people like Charles Woodson, Desmond Howard, just legends that have stepped foot in this building before us, and have really paved the path for guys to be able to come to such a place with such culture and tradition. People of that sort. I guess those would be the main three, in all honesty. But no, I mean, there's a ton of Michigan alumni. There's too many to name, but those are the kind of three my football brain goes to right away. But no, that would be a cool opportunity if we were able to do that, and hopefully could get some other guys on for the show. Like if we did anything like that, like if we for some reason were ever to get Tom Brady, like I'd want all the quarterbacks to be there, like to interact with him and things like that, like to pick his brain and kind of have it like that. I know they did a dinner like that when Tom was either retiring or in his last year, and they had it with I think C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. But that's kind of how everyone looks at a guy like that. Just want to pick his brain and see how he ticks and what goes on in his brain.
Mikey, I feel like this is going to happen, right? Not only do you have a great show, you're part of Champ Media, you're currently on the team, but you can invite them to the Chop House. Like, it's an easy ask. Like, at this point, I feel like it's only a matter of time before you start to get some of these big name guys on the show. Yeah, but just in terms of how it's been for you, like, do you obsessively watch game film the same way you watch episodes of the team? Like, are you breaking down your performance and saying, oh, I should have asked this question there, or why did I scratch my nose when I asked that question? Are you like analyzing? 'Cause I can't watch anything I do. I can't listen to my voice. I'm sick of Ben. It's been too much stuff over the years. Like, I'm done. So I don't know about you, but do you like rewatch your episodes and try to get better and learn and do all that?
Yeah, I mean, I try, but at the same time, the whole point of the show is to just keep it conversational based, keep it relaxed, keep it flowing. So I'm the same way as you. I don't listen to my voice. I don't like listening to anything back. So keep it
I
as
hope all of
natural
you
as
do, by the way. I hope all of you watch and listen and watch our episodes and
yes,
listen
for
to our
sure.
voices. But the two of us are going to have to sit that one out.
For sure. But no, I'm not as locked in as I am with the film study and preparation I take for the week for a game, because it's just very, very conversational based. I want it to be relaxed. I don't want it to be something that I'm amped up for or nervous for, and I don't want my whoever I'm talking to be nervous for, because it's just a conversational based podcast and show. So I want it to be as flowing and natural as possible. So no, I haven't done too much analyzing. My parents will obviously be like, "Hey, that was a great episode," and they said that for both. But
That's parents. Parents are going to say every episode's great, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But they're the best. They're the best. So I appreciate them, and they'll give me a constructive criticism too. They'll let me know like. If I say just like I just said right now, so they'll let me know if I do anything like that. But no, they do a great job just letting me know how I've done. But no, I'm not overanalyzing anything. Just a good conversation with my teammates, letting them share their story. And really, I mean, I'm not really doing too much talking. It's these guys that come on, and I let them kind of share their stories because I don't want to take anything away from their time or what they want to say. So that's really how it's been going.
All right, interesting time for you and I to link up for this crossover episode here and connect about the experience working with Champ Media, because this week you got a different coach. What can you tell me about Coach Biff?
Oh, Coach Biff's the man. And, of course, with the circumstances, obviously, we're going out there for Coach Moore, and that's our main focus, is getting him a win and doing our job for him. And he talked about the how of what we're doing and the intentional purpose of how we're doing everything. So everything for this week is for him, because he's an excellent head coach, one of the best that I've ever been around. Such a player's coach, and you don't get that relationship a whole bunch with head coaches. They got a whole lot on their plate, especially at a level like this. So he does an excellent job managing his job as well as his relationships with the players. So comfortable and easy to talk to. So really appreciative of him and how he's been just in the short time that I've been here. I mean, I guess I've been here for about 9 months now, but still, it feels like you've been here for 4 years just with the relationships that he has with every player on the team. So, an awesome guy to be around. But transitioning to Coach Biff, Coach Biff's an awesome character to be around, such a cool guy. They have very similar vibes. Like, it makes sense that he's going to be the interim and how he's the associate head coach as well. But I mean, Coach Poggi just understands ball, and he relates to the players well, and he has those conversations with players that need to be had, and is comfortable with talking to everybody. So we're excited to get him behind the reins for 2 weeks, but obviously going to miss Coach Moore out there and can't wait to get him back. But Coach Poggi is going to do an excellent job, and we're going to play for each other and play for Coach Moore and play for Coach Biff.
You got anything you want to ask me? You know, I've been on TV and doing podcasts for 20 years, so I don't know if there's anything you want to get into, but happy to answer any random questions you might have.
Yeah, I guess I'd say what got you into it? What made you start doing what you're doing?
Well, it's a family business for me. I'm third generation doing this. My grandfather wrote a nightlife column for the New York Post from 1934 to 74, covering nightlife in the city, talking to artists and athletes and politicians and all types of interesting folk. And then my father's been a film critic for almost 50 years now, reviewing movies. And I remember when I was young, I saw the movie Saving Private Ryan. And the next day, my dad played in a charity softball game, and Ed Burns, who was in the movie, was in the game. And I sat in the dugout and I just asked him questions about working with Spielberg and, you know, different scenes. And I remember that experience as a 12-year-old. Wow, I got to see a movie and then ask the guy who made the movie, like, what it was like. That's so cool. So I try and hold on to that still 30 years later. Like, the fact I get to talk to you who plays for Team 146 and I watch your games every Saturday, like, has me just as excited as I was when I was a kid and when I started my career. So just that genuine curiosity in how the best people at what they do what they do, I think has kind of been my driving force over the last however many years doing this now. But yeah, had to go down memory lane a little bit and take it back to being 12, but I try to keep that youthful enthusiasm to everything I do.
Yeah, you did, and that's awesome. But I gotta ask, hey, what's the pay looking like for a film critic? Because that's one of my favorite things, and I like watching movies. That's probably one of my biggest pastimes and hobbies, and I love going to the movie theaters. What does it look like for the pay for a film critic? Because that sounds like a pretty sweet job.
You know, my dad had it great because he did it before social media. Now everybody's a critic. Now everybody goes to a movie and tweets or, you know, posts what they think about it, which is great, which I love that conversation with people, you know, about film. But there was a time when, you know, there was only a select few who had a platform to share their opinions about movies early, to bring attention to a smaller movie that might not otherwise get any kind of love. So, yeah, the big guy did all right for himself. I always joke with him. I'm like, man, that 90s TV money, that's a thing of the past. You came in this game at the right time, you know?
Yeah, he did.
But he's still at it, man. He's still at it. He's in his 80s, and he's still reviewing stuff, and he still has a passion for it, and is watching movies all the time. And so, yeah, the game's changed a little bit, and I think that's a good thing, you know, because like I said, everybody now is a critic and has a platform and is going to share their opinion. So I'm all for it. More conversation, more people going to the movies. I mean, you know, I thought there was a moment there, Mikey, when nobody would ever go to a theater again, you know, coming out of COVID with the ability to stream stuff at home. But there is something really special about being in a room with strangers and just cutting yourself off from the world and immersing yourself in 2 hours of something that I think is powerful and still has a place in our culture and society. So the last great movie I saw was Highest to Lowest, the Spike Lee joint with Denzel Washington, shot just down the street from my apartment here in Brooklyn. I would love to get Spike to the big house. We got to get Spike Lee to the big house. Get him in Ann Arbor. He's such a sports fan. You know, he's a Jordan brand guy. I think he would love a Saturday in Ann Arbor. But yeah, that was the last great movie I saw in the theater.
Yeah, that could be an easy transition to get Spike here. I mean, going off of that, I mean, you know, so many people and different backgrounds, obviously, with what you're doing now. Who, if you could get on the show, who would you want to get on the show? It could be Michigan alum, could be not Michigan alum, but who would you want to get on the show and pick their brain?
Well, I've had the privilege of sitting down with Charles Woodson. I interviewed him at his golf tournament
Okay.
in the Napa Valley a few years ago. Tough assignment. I worked with Derek Jeter on the Players Tribune, helping launch that platform. So I've gotten to spend some time with Derek, with the captain, which is pretty great.
Yep.
He used to always. My dad's a big Red Sox fan, so when I would bring him by the office, he'd always like pretend to have security, kick him out, or bring him to a party, and he'd say, "Hey, get that guy in the Red Sox hat out of here." But to keep it Michigan, I'm of the generation that the Fab Five are my superheroes. And we had Jimmy King on episode 2 of The Lab. Everybody knows at this point I was in Jalen Rose's family on Family Feud. I'm a big fan of Jalen and consider him a close friend. I've hung out with Ray Jackson. I know Chris Webber. Used to work with him at NBA TV. I've never met Juwan Howard. And I'm dying to get him on the show. I didn't meet him when he was coaching in Ann Arbor. I haven't crossed paths with him. Here. We got to figure that out. So he's coaching here in Brooklyn. I think the chances will be good this season to get him on the Lab. So that's who I would say. I want to get Juwan Howard in the Lab with Champ Media.
Awesome.
You're probably too young to remember those guys. I mean, their impact was incredible. What do you know about the Fab Five?
I've seen the 30 for 30s. I remember watching because I was a huge. I'm a huge hoop fan too. But growing up, wasn't the Fab Five when the accidental timeout was called? Was that?
We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that.
I was gonna say,
we don't need to talk about that.
That's a good reference. That's ball knowledge right there.
Sadly, they got a bar in Chapel Hill called the Timeout, which I think is disgraceful.
Oh man.
And shout out to the Hall of Famer Chris Webber. So I want to put that out there as well.
Sore subject.
Who, by the way, to bring it full circle, I actually first met Chris at Sundance because he produces movies. Like if you look up Chris Webber's IMDb, he's been an executive producer on a number of small independent films that you would not expect Chris Webber to be involved with, but he's a cinephile as well. He's got a passion for film and for history and culture. So yeah, Chris Webber, the movie producer, is how I first crossed paths with him.
Well, that's awesome. I did not know that.
Well, he's the Fab Five was everything, man. It's a big reason why I went to the University of Michigan. I was like, oh, cool shorts and black socks. I'm in. I'll go to college there, you know? Probably not the wisest of decisions on why to go somewhere, but hey, it led me to this moment and chatting with you. So I guess it worked out.
They were legends, so I don't blame you at all.
We got to get some basketball players on your show. I know your show's focused on your teammates right now, but football season is going to come to an end and the show must go on. So are we going to see other athletes from other sports pop up on the team?
I mean, yeah, well, I'm cool. I'm cool with whatever, just whatever they want from me, and however the seasons transition. But basketball, I got to get a hockey guy on there. I got to get some other some other sports going as well. And I mean, if they want to transition and have their own teammates and stuff, lead an interview with them, I'm fine with that too. Whatever they want to do and however they feel comfortable with it. So I know the football guys are probably comfortable with me.
You mentioned the hockey team, and one of my favorite traditions now, because it has become a tradition, is when the football team beats Ohio and then shows up at the hockey game. That's my favorite.
I have heard.
That's my favorite.
I have heard about that tradition. I was at a hockey game in the spring. My buddy in Marlin was telling me about that. He said it's an unreal feeling.
All right, I love this question for anybody on the football team. What did you do today to beat Ohio State?
Today was some physical therapy in the morning. It's early in the morning, and then some film for the opponent today. So that's really where I'm at right now, as well as some breakfast. And then after this, I'll head to the facility and get some more work in for the day and get ready for practice.
It's been a glorious 2,100 and something odd days. I've lost count at this point. Being new now to this rivalry, what does it mean to you, and what are you looking forward to in November?
Yeah, I mean, obviously being a college football fan and understanding the rivalry that I've watched, although I haven't been a part of it for the last 4 years of my career, as closely as I am now, but understanding it and watching it every year, knowing that that's going to be the biggest game of the season, regardless of whoever was ranked. I mean, both teams are going to be at the top of the rankings at the end of the season, and it'd be huge stakes for the Big Ten championship and then the playoff from there. But just understanding the tradition that goes even before the playoff and all these different things, but just knowing what it means to the alumni, knowing what it means to the fan base, and knowing what it means to my teammates who have been there, especially the seniors. They want to go 4-0 and end their careers on the right way. So that's really what I'm locked in for, is to go 1-0 and help these guys go undefeated to end their careers, because that's something that they'll remember forever. So the work that they've been able to put in for the last 4 years, and the work that I put in on my own separate career for the last 4 years, mentalities align with each other to be able to understand that how the magnitude of this game and what it means to this program, this fan base, the alumni, and everyone that has been involved and ever touched and cared about Michigan football. So I'm learning about it every single day. Obviously, I can't make a claim to say that I have been a part of it for the last 4 years and whatnot, but at the same time, I care enough about my teammates and care enough about this university, and I'm appreciative enough for being able to be brought here and be a part of this team to where it means a whole bunch to me. And it means everything to this program to be able to get that win in the rivalry. And obviously I'm speaking from an outside perspective so far, because I haven't actually played in the game, but everyone from the freshmen to the transfers, we understand what the game means and the magnitude that it holds for this program. And we're going to take it, we're going to approach it with that mentality as well for the remainder of the year. That's how we approach it every single day. I mean, there's signs up in the building reminding us every single day what that means to us. So that's kind of how I approach it, and I try not to take any unauthentic and ingenuine approaches and takes to it. Obviously haven't been a part of the game yet, but it still means a whole bunch to me, and I'm excited to get that opportunity this year and help the team prepare however they have to, doing whatever we can and whatever our roles are to collectively get together and win that game.
Man, this crossover episode has me so excited for you and for Team 146. You're in with a special group of guys. Obviously, the quarterback room is a really dynamic room this year. We had Davis on the show, and of course, all the hype and anticipation for Bryce Underwood, and he's been terrific so far. What's the quarterback room like, and just what's that experience, like being a part of that group?
Yeah, it's a special group, and obviously from top down, starting with Coach Chip. Coach Chip does an excellent job. Obviously, I've worked with him before at UCF. That's probably the main reason why I am here, just because of that prior relationship, and the relationship that I quickly built with Coach Moore. But no, Coach Chip is just a true player's coach, a mentor in my life, and he always will be. So he's done an excellent job just instilling his offense and understanding his philosophies, because it's new to everyone in the room. I'm kind of more familiar with it, but we have a great relationship, and he has a great relationship with the whole team and the entire offense. Then Coach Synagoga, assistant quarterbacks coach, he does an awesome job as well, leading our meetings, helping send out notes, helping send out film. Then we got Neebs, K. Niebel. He's a GA in our room. He does an awesome job of being able to help us with the drawings, get us right with any film where we need to see stuff. And he's the man behind the scenes. He's doing all the drawings. He's doing all the scout cards. So he puts in a lot of work to this. So appreciative of him. Then going Davis. Davis has been here for 5 years, I believe. So he knows Michigan through and through, understands the standard, and has been with a lot of great players, and obviously did a great job last year. And his season, unfortunately, ended with an injury. So he's recovering and getting back, but he's a huge leader in that room for us. Jaden Davis was here last year. He does an awesome job helping with Bryce and really just operating. I'm super proud of the growth that he's made throughout this offseason, and seeing him come in as a real young guy and kind of transitioning himself to more of a veteran presence. It's hard to be able to do that when you haven't, quote unquote, played on the field, but he's done an excellent job of it. He handles his business outside in the weight room, and he's got a whole bunch of respect from his team as well as in our room. Leading to Jake Garcia, that was a late pickup, but he's been a great addition to the QB room, and have been super appreciative of him and how he's been approached, how he's approached it. Obviously got some experience in the college football, been around a couple different places, so we've got some similar backgrounds. I mean, we're both West Coast guys, and so is Davis, but have known each other for a while now. So cool to be able to get in the same room with each other. Chase Herbstreit has been an awesome addition. He's been helping with the scout team and things like that, but he's been a huge addition to the room. He's got a great personality, and he knows ball. So it's been awesome. He's one of my better friends, and it's crazy to say because I'm a dang fifth year. But he's a good freshman, and he's funny too. So he's an easy guy to get along with, kind of a glue guy in all honesty. So everyone enjoys being around him and has enjoyed seeing his process and how he handles things. And then leading with Bryce. Bryce is a generational talent, obviously, but he's also a generational person, too. He does an excellent job with everything, the details, and I've been super appreciative because, in all honesty, I don't know if I was in that magnitude of light and coming out of high school, if I was that high ranked of a recruit, how I would be able to act, but he handles it like a pro. And you would never know any of the accolades, anything. Just a super humble, caring, kind kid, a leader in the room and on the team, which is hard to do as a true freshman. I've been in his shoes. I've played games as a true freshman, so I know it's a tough thing to do, and he's handling it gracefully and humbly. So I'm super appreciative of how his approach has been, and anything that I've been able to do to try and help him, he's been super accepting of it, understanding that I've been around, I've played a lot of football, so just trying to shed light on anything with his situation, and I've learned from him too. So it's been a super cool quarterback room to be a part of, and I appreciate all those guys.
Well, I appreciate you spending some time here on this crossover episode on Champ Media of the lab and the team. We'll have to do it again throughout the season. Last thing here I want to leave you with, when I was on campus, some of my fondest memories were from taking classes like history of Japanese anime. I took TV shows of the 80s. I really put my parents' tuition money to work with some memorable classes. What are you studying, and what classes have you excited?
Yeah, so I'm in graduate courses right now. I graduated with a degree in economics at Fresno. I'm in social work right now, as is a bunch of the football guys. So being able to share a class with my teammates has been a cool opportunity. I didn't always had that opportunity back in business at Fresno. So no, it's been cool just having classes with my teammates and be able to go on campus. My social work, I lived at Vic Village, so social work is literally right across the street. I'd walk down from my apartment, walk across the street, and I'd be at class. So that was super nice. Got to sleep in some mornings. But no, I'd say just sharing classes with my teammates has been the coolest thing. And now most of the guys are in online classes, so it's cool seeing teammates in Zoom and interacting with them through that light. So just excited to see how the semester goes and continuing with that.
Best of luck on Saturdays. Stay out of Rick's, and we'll be sure to check out every episode of the team when it drops on Champ Media. Great to connect with you, Mikey.
Hey, likewise. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Steering clear of Rick's, too. I got you.
Go Blue. Peace.
Go Blue.